Hi! I'm here with my seamstress Lois, and we want to bust a couple of style myths for you today. But let's talk about necklines today. And I want to bust that style myth that the V-neck is the most flattering neckline for all women. So stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Liz Kleba from Closet Play Image, and this is
Lois Martin from Made to Order by Lois.
And we are talking necklines today. So I just want to bust that style myth really quickly.
Oh,
and then we're going to move
yeah.
on to necklines and what you can do with them. So necklines are a really personal thing, and you can get people going on it. But for school dress codes and necklines and collarbones, that's a whole nother conversation. But necklines, so many people will tell me, and women will tell me, oh, I buy V-necks. I only buy V-necks because they're the most flattering. There is a point to that in the sense that it draws the eye to this bare patch of skin if you're wearing, But what happens actually is that the most flattering neckline for you is one that is similar to the shape of your chin. So for most women, a scoop neck or a shallow V, not a deep pointy V, because most women don't have a deep pointy V chin, but a shallow V or a slightly curved V is much more flattering. That's why a scoop neck is often more flattering, because we get a little bit of that skin, because the eye is attracted to bare skin, which is why necklines are such a thing. But if it reflects the same shape as our chin, it's in harmony with the rest of us, and it tends to be the most flattering.
I learned so much from you. I just love watching your videos.
Hashtag you're welcome. Anyway, so we're here today to talk about necklines and how you can and can't have them altered and what can be done. Because we all buy things and we're like, oh, this just isn't quite right. Or
we buy it and we think it's right at the store, and then you get it home and you wear it the first time and you're like, oh, there's a problem here.
Yeah.
And with me, that more often happens with a V-neck. I think it's fine, and it doesn't show more than I want it to until I bend over.
Until you bend over.
Which brings me to what we can do.
Yes.
This shirt.
Yes. And we talked about this in another video as well, but we're just sharing here because we're talking about necklines now.
So this is a V-neck. It was not really low, but the first time I wore it, you could see almost my waistline when I leaned over. So
because it's a woven fabric and it's going to drape away from you. Now, if this had been a t-shirt, it wouldn't have moved in the same way.
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
And I very rarely wear t-shirts anymore. I just don't like the way they fit me. So I took it home and I took it out and pulled out some stuff. I didn't want it to look like I had added something to it, although it does, but it kind of goes with it. And it took me, I think, 4 tries to get it pulled in enough so that it still didn't expose too much. And then I actually added 2 layers of violet fabric. I did one and it's like, no, it's not enough, so I added another one. And so that keeps it, I am comfortable wearing this when I'm playing with my grandchildren or if I'm going out to dinner. It doesn't matter. I'm not having to do this because I hate to have to think about that.
Well, and this as well.
Yes.
So this is one for me that drapes me crazy is when a shirt is sliding off the shoulders. And it might be the shoulders, but more likely
it's the neckline.
It's the neckline.
Right. So in a V-neck, sometimes you can pull them in a little bit and stitch them, but quite often you have to add a little something, and that could be fabric that matches. If we can find some, like if it's a dress and you want it shortened, then there's fabric that can be added to the neckline. If it's something like this, we find something that coordinates or doesn't, something that's different that makes it look like you're wearing something really cute under.
I meant to do that.
Yes,
like
I meant to do that.
I meant to do that.
Yes, exactly.
As long as it's intentional, it's style. Just letting you know that.
If you are given a gift and it's non-returnable and you put it on, it's like, oh, I love this, but that's when you need a seamstress to come that you can go to and say, can you do anything about this? Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. But,
And it's funny because I have a scoop neck top that was doing this slidey thing on the shoulders. And so what I ended up doing was taking, now it wasn't this, it was a scoop, but creating a pleat in the middle. And then whenever I pleated it, it took up that extra at the shoulders. So I was no longer trying to keep my straps under cover all day long. And then it gave me a cute little pleat detail there that kind of opened up. So I didn't lose any of the volume of the shirt that I needed in the front, but it helped prevent that slide at the shoulders.
Right, and so sometimes a pleat does work with the neckline and the style of the dress. No.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So what other kinds of things can we do with necklines?
I've actually had someone come to me with crew neck, which is your standard
men's
t-shirt. Men's t-shirt is a crew neck, and she said, I want it made into a V-neck, which I can do. You can make, a shallow V, or you can move it down and it's a shallow scoop. So that's a pretty basic alteration for me to be able to do. There's usually an extra piece of fabric on the crew neck that kind of makes the collar, and sometimes if the alteration's not much, that just gets moved. Sometimes you have to be creative with other ways, the finishing of it, but you can change just a round t-shirt type neckline into something that's lower, or a more V-neck or something.
And more flattering, because crew necks are really not the most flattering.
No.
They work really, really well for very petite women, particularly who have a smaller top half. They're great on a very, very petite woman with a small waist up. But for most of us,
unless you're covering it up with a scarf or a sweater so you don't see it anyway.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
At which point we finessed it another way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what else can we do?
If turtlenecks, I have a short neck, and I lived most of my life way up north where it was cold and wore turtlenecks all the time, but I always felt like they were, so
Joking.
Yeah, you can shorten them down to a mock turtleneck, a shorter neckline, or again, just like with a crew neck shirt, it can be made into a scoop neck, or if you love everything else about it, it can be changed. Some people love turtlenecks and look great in them. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
And they're too hot. When we live in Georgia, so hot is not something. Yeah.
But who knows where you're watching from?
Right.
And if you're watching from someplace cold and you need turtlenecks all year long, let us know. Drop that in the comments below.
Oh yeah, that would be fun to see.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I love turtlenecks, but I have to be very careful about the fit because it creates a lot of real estate from here up.
Right.
And so it can be very flattering. It may not be as well. So it really, pardon me, it just sort of depends on how you're endowed.
Right.
And where you want the attention to be. So one quick tip, if you do need to wear a turtleneck because it is cold and you want to draw the attention away from the girls, a big statement necklace over your turtleneck is an awesome way to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And some sweaters, you need a turtleneck, those heavy wool sweaters.
Yes.
That I haven't gotten rid of all of mine yet.
I know, because we still have people we love who live up north, and you never know when you may need to go.
I still have my parka. It's in storage, but I still have my parka. That, because I don't like all that scratchy around my neck, I will put on a turtleneck under it. So I have kept a few of them. Although my husband wears them all the time, I just don't care for them. Yeah, it's not
okay. So we can alter that.
Right.
We can shorten a turtleneck or remove it. What else can we do?
The other thing, in formal dresses, bridesmaids dresses, wedding gowns, necklines can be, too low or gap open, and there are several cures for that. Sometimes you can just tack it in place, add bra cups to it so that you don't have to try and find a bra that's going to match the neckline of your dress. And that can be done with other dresses as well, but that's an easy fix. They make bra cups different sizes that are sewn in, and they're not really hard and stiff. They're just soft and cup. So it gives you it really doesn't give you any support, but it does give you a little bit of shape and keeps you from showing through, and you don't have to worry about that really uncomfortable long line strapless bra that doesn't match the neckline of your dress. I had somebody come to me recently, I have to tell the story, it was so funny, that she wanted to wear a bustier under her dress. And so I thought it best to pull out some of the boning. And when I pulled the boning out of this bust line seam, it was metal, interlocking links. I have never seen boning like that before. And I thought, that would be uncomfortable for anybody to wear. Yeah, I'd want to wear an undergarment instead of that as well. But I had to open that seam up and take it in there, and so pulling it out was really straightforward. But she didn't want it put back in, and I didn't want to have to deal with it. It bends, and so I have something interesting in my. Maybe this will show up in a costume box now.
I want to see this.
Yeah, I'll have to show you.
Yeah, next time I come by, I'll have to show that to me.
Yeah, I saved them. It was just so unusual. But wedding gowns and bridesmaids dresses, formal events. The necklines and bust lines can be made so they fit better. Sometimes it's increasing a dart, letting a dart out. The other thing, it's not really a neckline thing, but button up the front shirts. Quite often on women, the buttons are not in the right place, so you get a gap. And so what do? We put a safety pin in there, which works, but your seamstress can add, they have clear snaps. You can put a snap in there, and then you don't have to, you put it on, you just snap it up, you never have to worry about your pin showing through, that kind of thing. So I have done that a lot for myself and customers that they'll put something on and they want me to adjust something else. And I'm like, would you like me to fix that? They're like, you can? Yeah, you put a snap there. Snaps are wonderful things.
And if your shirt is gapping, it's not necessarily anything wrong with you. It's that the buttons on that shirt are not placed for where your bust is placed.
Right.
So it's not personal. That shirt wasn't designed for you.
Right.
So don't worry about it. Just have a seamstress or do it yourself.
Sometimes it's further down that it gaps. It's not that it's too small. It's just where the buttons fall
and as you move, you're creating tension and again.
Unless you like showing all that off, and maybe you do, that's personal. But I personally do not like to show those off in public. So I just put a snap in them.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today. Some quick and easy fixes, things that your seamstress, if you have one, if you don't, you need to get one. Because there are 3 people you need in your life if you want great style, and one is a seamstress or a tailor. One is a cobbler, and they are harder and harder to find nowadays.
They are.
And the last one is a fabulous dry cleaner. So if you have all 3 of those, then you definitely have some of the secrets to some of the best style you can have. So thank you for sharing with us today, Lois. I appreciate it. And stay safe and sound, sane and stylish. We will link all of our information below. She's Lois Martin from
Made to Order by Lois.
I'm Liz Clever from Closet Play Image. You can find more about me on my website, which is closetplay.biz. That's closetplay.biz. Biz rhymes with Liz. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.